Hello, fellow Rebel Capitalists. Hope you're well. So I've got some scary stuff, scary story to share with you. This morning, I had someone that works for me start playing around and experimenting with ChatGPT. We're thinking about using it to summarize some of my videos like this one and put them into a blog type format for the new website that we're going to be launching next week. We'll go over that more on Monday. And so what this person did is they basically typed into ChatGPT and asked it to pull up a personal profile for George Gammon, just to see how much information ChatGPT had on yours truly. So just remember that if ChatGPT has this much information on me, and by the way, it's not like we dug deep and said, like, what's George Gammon's blood type, or what's George Gammon's mother, or what's George Gammon's sibling names and all this. All we did is just say, please give me a personal bio for George Gammon. That was it. So we could have dug way deeper. So as I'm going through this, I want you to think about it in terms of, okay, this is where it is today, but this thing is evolving exponentially, literally exponentially. So if it has progressed this much over the past year, it's going to progress 10 times further over the next year, and 1,000 times further the year after that, compared to where it is today. To a point where, and I'm actually starting to think about this, in 2 or 3 years, I do not doubt that ChatGPT could create, or AI, whatever plugins you're using and whatnot, could create a George Gammon video, to where a lot of you, well, you guys could probably tell, but if you're a new viewer of the channel, they wouldn't even know if it was me or not. It would be a total, what do they call it, deep fake George Gammon. It would replicate my voice almost to perfection. It would replicate my laugh, the sense of humor. What it does, and the reason, one of the ways ChatGPT knew so much about me, was every single time you feed it information, it becomes more powerful. So as an example, if I take a transcript from one of my videos and put it into ChatGPT and then say, hey, can you summarize this for me so we can use it in a blog post? It does it, but it remembers basically the transcript that you gave it. And it that profile that it has now of George Gammon becomes larger and larger and larger and larger. And you might be saying to yourself, well, George, well, who cares? I'm not feeding anything into ChatGPT. Yeah, you don't have to. Your ex-wife could. Your ex-husband. That you may be on speaking terms, maybe not. Right? Maybe you're a little pissed off because she got 50% in the divorce. Or maybe you're a little pissed off for whatever reason because your husband cheated on you or something like that. And then you take all this information, you give it to ChatGPT. Let's just say in 2 years, you say, there you go, ChatGPT. Now it can basically replicate anything about you that anyone wants, and you have no control over that whatsoever. See, we got to start thinking in these terms. So now let's go over to my email, because I basically emailed myself the text of what ChatGPT gave the person that works for me. So this is, as of right now, ChatGPT just doing a quick little summary profile bio on George Gammon. We're not digging deep. We're not asking for blood type. Just, hey, tell me who this George Gammon guy is real quick. Here's what we got. Personal profile. George Gammon, demographics, middle age, nationality, American, occupation, entrepreneur, investor, YouTuber, educator, education, self-educated in economics, finance, and psychographics, personality traits, analytical, articulate, curious, and passionate about economics, values, transparency, financial literacy, free markets, interest, macroeconomics, real estate investing, financial markets, geopolitics, digital footprint, YouTube, high subscriber count, frequent uploads, long form content, social media, active on Twitter. Not anymore. Most of you know the inside joke there that hackers took control of my Twitter account like a month ago, and I haven't gotten it back. By the way, I got respondents yesterday from Twitter saying that nothing's wrong. It's like, hello, you idiot. Can't you tell how the hacker duped you? Anyway, getting back to the ChatGPT. Let's see, social media, active on Twitter, LinkedIn, all platforms, podcast, often invited as guests on financial and economic podcast, website, blog, operates a website where he offers courses and articles, content style, tone, educational yet accessible. So all these other things we're probably going through and say, yeah, George, but you're out there on social media. I mean, anyone could really just Google you real quick and come up with that. Yeah, but here's where it gets like creepy. Tone, educational yet accessible, often laced with humor. Okay, you see where I'm going? Now we're starting to get into the weird part. Complexity varies from beginner to advanced topics. Visual aids, utilizes charts, graphs, other visual tools to explain concepts. Engagement, high viewer interaction, often takes questions and suggestions from his audience. That is weird. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you're cool with this, but for me, and I think I can speak for most Gen Xers and maybe baby boomers, we look at this and we're like, whoa. Let's pump the brakes. Now, if a human can decipher this from doing it, fine. But I don't want AI, especially this very rudimentary form of AI relative to what it will be in 2 years. No. Time out. Let's keep going. Credibility. Is that here we go. Strengths. They're listing my strengths now. Credibility built through years of experience in successful investments, communication skills, exceptional ability to break down complex topics, audience reach, wide-ranging from novice investor to financial professionals, adaptability, quick to address current events and market changes. Weaknesses. Niche focus primarily appeals to those interested in economics, finance, limiting broader audience reach. Complexity, some topics may be too complex for average viewer without a background in economics. Opportunities, educational courses, potentially to expand into more structural educational offerings, collaborations with other financial experts, books, publications, could author a book to consolidate his economic theories and investment strategies. Threats, market saturation, growing from financial education and YouTubers, economic volatility. His investment advice could be challenged by unpredictable market conditions. Conclusion, George Gammon is a key influencer in the world of finance and macroeconomics. His ability to dissect intricate economic issues and present them in an understandable manner sets him apart. As he continues to grow his digital presence, the sky's the limit for this financial guru. Well, that is very kind, ChatGPT. I appreciate the conclusion there. Although it is weird when you're saying that to a robot that could try to eradicate the human race, like some bad Terminator movie. But there you go. I wanted to share that with you guys. And I understand most of you don't have the same type of online presence that I do. But you also have to understand that this is just one of the very first iterations of ChatGPT and AI. And this thing is growing exponentially. So like I said earlier, in a year, it's going to be 10 times better, 10 times more expansive. In 2 years, 1,000 times. A year after that, 10,000 times. So if it has this much on me right now, I can promise you it will have 100 times more information in data, not just as to what's going on, like your blood type or who knows what else they'll have, your siblings and your that's a part to be worried about, but that's not my biggest concern. My biggest concern is that it starts to analyze you from a psychological standpoint to where other people can access that, advertisers, maybe the global elite, the Klaus Schwab types, and then they can aggregate all this data in the American society, and then they'll know what hot buttons they need to push a country into civil war. I mean, that is not outlandish at all. When you think that just 6 months into it, it can already pull up all this. And like I said, it's not only going over kind of what I do on YouTube, but it's giving you insights as to kind of my personality and my emotional state. And it's going to be able to do 1,000 times more, not just to me, but to every single person watching this video, I would argue within a year or two. And in the wrong hands, I think this can be dangerous as a wild, wild understatement. Some scary stuff, guys. On that note, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. As always, make sure that you're standing up for freedom, liberty, free market capitalism, and privacy, for heaven's sakes. And if you want to see more of the most important recent news stories that we have discussed right here on this channel, Josh will put them in a playlist right about here, and we'll see you in the next video.